This is the Kyle Malnati Show. Our podcast provides an opportunity to expand your knowledge, and it's our goal to make real estate investing more approachable to everyone. Each episode, we tap into the mindset of real estate experts and share their stories.
All right, so the last question I ask is one of my favorites. I ask every single person on the podcast, what advice would you give to an aspiring investor that's maybe shaking in their boots, they're going to buy their first single-family rental property or a duplex or a fourplex? What advice would you give to them?
Take your time. Take your time. Understand what you're buying. Understand the risks associated with what you're buying. And when you are ready to buy and you've identified this amazing property, realize what market you're in. Are you in today's market, which is very hot?
Yeah.
And also ask yourself, okay, fast forward. We've been through depressions. We've been through hard economic times. Does your property still provide you what you want when the market is down?
Yeah, stress test it.
Stress
talked
test it.
about that. Yeah.
And if you can understand and not overanalyze, but since it's your first one, maybe really understand that. If you've never seen the real estate market in a downturn, it's a real thing. And if you're projecting $1,200 rents for a one bedroom, that's great. That's great today. But what happens when they're $600 in a hard economic time where jobs are not there, and other economic factors? So come out, identify the property, make sure you understand the good and the bad, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's amazing advice. And I think that as people look forward to being in rental real estate, they sort of get this fever, right? And really what they need to do is take a cold shower, honestly, because you get so excited about buying a rental property that you just kind of jump without looking.
Absolutely.
And you jump in, both feet first, and there is a component to success where you do need to be bold. I did a talk this week about multifamily investors and what makes great investors work. And you do have to say at some point, I'm going to start. Mm-hmm. But I think what needs to happen on the front end of you starting your real estate journey is make sure that you do a lot of research. And I love your advice there, because there is that tendency to just say, let's get going. Come on, I want to do this. And so I think that's great advice.
And the biggest downfall that I saw through my banking experience was somebody would buy a piece of property. They would do very well on that piece of property. They want to hit a home run every time.
Yeah.
And I think if you have the mindset of, okay, I did well on this, I've got to do well on this, and I will do well on this, I think it takes some of your thought away. And if you're trying to hit home run after home run after home run, whether it's your first property or you're just starting out, it's your 13th property.
Yeah.
You always have to remember to take a step back, make sure that those numbers are still working in that economic downturn.
Yeah, and I think that's great advice, because the home run hitter, that sounds great. It gets a lot of headlines, but the reality is some of the best home run hitters also led in strikeouts.
Yes.
And so, which I think you need to do is focus on hitting solid singles and doubles, and really be just methodical about, I'm going to continue to stay in the game here. And that was Josh Steck's advice on his podcast, is he's a big baseball guy, and he's like, look, this is a long game, and just stay in the game. Realize that it's not sustainable to hit a home run every single time.
Absolutely.